Hey there. Okay, now we're up to video number 53, and this is going to be video number 15 of module 3. Alright, and in this one we're going to be using the moving average of oscillator. Alright, now I've just drew out some vertical lines, and again I want to show you another exercise on showing you how you can basically find signals in the market using these two indicators. Alright, now what I've done is I've drew a vertical line tool with this tool symbol pressed in right here, and I've just simply placed it on the first bar of every instance. Oops, I missed one. Of every instance where either the first bar goes above or where the first bar goes below the vertical scale on the accelerator oscillator. Okay. Then the next thing I'm looking for is to see whether or not that the OsMA is above or below the vertical scale, also in conjunction with the one above it. So this one here we can just barely see. Let's just zoom in for you guys. Alright, you can see here there's a green bar that's above the vertical scale, but we've got a red bar here that's below the vertical scale, so I might not choose that one. I might just put this in my mind, in the back of my mind for the moment, and work out what I can do with that one. And here's one here. We've got a down bar, and plus we've got an up bar, so that's no good. We've got a down bar plus an up bar, that's no good. And then we've got a down bar plus an up bar, that one's no good. And we've got an up bar plus an up bar, that one's good. Alright, so that's the first thing on my mind. Alright, so I'm just going to zoom out just a little bit and take a look at those first four that we looked at. And this was no good, this was no good, this was no good, this was no good, but this one was good. Sorry, the first five. Alright, so I think from previous videos we did actually recall that this area here was actually on a support line, and there was some more supports below it as well, so that one would have worked out okay. Alright, so with all of that there done, let's see if we can work on these ones over here on the left. Alright, okay, so we've got a down bar plus a down bar on the OsMA as well, so that and that is good. Plus we're on a red bar there as well, red candle, so that seems good. Plus we was on a double top. Oh, these are also great. Well, I should say T1, T2 for a double top. So that's good as well on its own. That's a nice sentiment in itself. So that would have warranted a nice sell trade. Alright. Let's just take a look on this. This is an up bar, but that's a down bar, so that's no good. This is an up bar, plus this is an up bar, plus it falls right on a support line, so that's good. So that would have been another one that we could have got in on. This is a down bar, and this is an up bar, so that's no good. So this is on a 4-hour time frame as well. Alright, okay, so what I would do is I will go ahead and I'm going to leave these on there, and I'm going to save it as a template for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to give this a larger thickness, and plus I'm going to give it a green color to say it's an okay trade. Alright, and I'm going to leave the ones red because they're not okay. Alright, so you can see these, and I'm going to give that a large thickness as well, just to let you know that it is okay. Don't mistake these for buy and sells. I mean, please use a little bit of common sense and say, okay, well this one's a sell trade and that one's a buy trade. Or I'll tell you what, hang on, I'll tell you what, just in case we do get confused, let me just give that a red color and I'll just make it thicker. Alright, that's better. Alright, so that's a sell trade, that's a buy trade. Any thin ones that you see, the ones that you should ignore. Alright. If you want to delete these after you've gained a little bit of understanding or more understanding about this particular setup, then you can just go ahead, double click on that line and press your delete key. Or alternatively, you can right click, choose objects list, and you can select one of these or just highlight it and just keep on pressing the delete button and it will just remove them all. Alright, okay, this okay, that's a down, that's an up, and that's an up. This one's good, and that's a buy trade, so we'll label that one green. There we go, that's a lot easier, isn't it? Alright, down trade, that's no good, that's no good. Alright, here is a slow trade. This actually happens on a support, oh no, just underneath a support. Okay, that's good. So let's change that color. Let's change that one for a sell trade. And there's an up, and there's a buy trade. Okay, let's take a look at some of these others here. Okay, down, down. Alright, okay, there's one right here. That's a buy trade. Down, down. Okay. That one's not one, even though, hang on a minute, let's just change the color of this one. There's no reset on there. Okay, red, single line. This one really isn't sitting, well, it's just very, very close actually. So yeah, it doesn't really come down that much. It comes down 76 pips. So where would you really target? Okay, we've got a support in there. It does kind of go sideways for a fair old bit. Alright, so there's one you probably need to be a little bit nimble on. Alright, so that could be an exception to the rule where you may have made a little loss on that one. Or you may have actually made a little profit or broken even. Okay. So there's, that's not one because that's down. Okay. Up, up. Alright, here's another one here, but you're on a, you're right on a resistance level right there as well, so that's not going to be no good. Here is one right here. This is a good sell trade, so we can change that to another thickness, to a dark one. Alright, so hopefully you should be able to see now that I'm looking for the first up here, and I'm also wanting to make sure that the OsMA is also above the vertical scale to go long on it as well. Now this one is, but I'm also looking at support and resistance levels. I'm not just looking at these vertical lines. Okay, so like, where's our first buy signal? Okay, here's our first buy signal. Alright, so it happens around about there. Let's just zoom out a little bit and maybe even go to a daily time frame. And I'm looking at this line that I drew in, and we can see over here that, you know, that is a pretty good support level. Alright, and this was going back and way in 2009 or 2008. When does that actually happen? 2009, April 2009, 8 days before my birthday. Alright, so yeah, so that one rings through off true. So that's a pretty good support line that we could have used for our analysis. Alright, so that's one area. So let's just take that line out. Let's double click on that so it doesn't get deleted. Let's take that line out. Let's just zoom in just a little bit more and find another area where we had a sell signal. Here's a sell signal right here. So let's go ahead and place that line to there like so. And let's just zoom out a little bit and see if this actually does work out well for a sell trade. Well, we can see straight away we've got a couple of peaks here of these candles. Here's one there. There's a little bit there, here's a bit here, and here's a bit there. It kind of really acts as our resistance levels, but let's go back and we can see that this got rejected, it came down. Here it got rejected and it came down. Here it got rejected and went back up a little bit, so that's good. Alright. Here it got rejected, came down. Got rejected here, it came down. And it kind of went sideways before it decided to break. So that's a pretty good area. Here, I mean, it even goes back as far as 2007. So that's a pretty good area. So you can see that those two signals for the buy and the short trader come true. So now you would need to do the same thing for this one here. Bring your tool down to around about there, and then see if this area here is actually a support level. Alright, and see if it would ring true. Well, here it did ring true for a bit because it went sideways before breaking that area. Here it went sideways as well before breaking it a little bit, didn't like it, went to the next support, didn't like that, so it went back up. Alright, we had a bit of rejection here a little bit, so that's fine. That's fine for a sell trade, for a buy trade. We're on a support there, so that's good. We'll just target the next support, and so forth and so on and so on. Alright, so I'm going to save that as a template for you, and obviously if you want to take some of these lines off, then you can go ahead and do that. Alright, and then once you've taken all the lines off, okay, you can go ahead and remove the lines, and then go back to your template, click on save template again. Alright, just go ahead and put that as strategy number 13 and video number 53, and we were using the OsMA. Alright, now I'm going to save that as a template for you. Okay, and then all you need to do if you don't want them on there next time around is double click on them, and you'll see these little editing points that will come up on them there, and you can go ahead and delete them. Just click on your delete key, and when you're happy that you got all of them removed, sorry for putting so many on there, I was trying to show as many examples as I possibly could for you. I think that's about it. Go to the daily time frame, see if they're all off. Yep. Alright, and then you can basically right click, choose template, save template, and then find a template that you want to highlight. Be very careful in this step. Alright, make sure you don't overwrite the wrong one, and just select that one and click on save, and it will ask you if you want to save it over the top. Alright, and I'm just going to choose no, and it will cancel out of it. Alright, so you can go ahead and use that. Alright, so I hope that video has helped, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye for now.